I'm Clinton Wingrove. I've often been described as an HR futurist, a pragmatist, a passionator, and certainly I've invested over 40 years in designing processes, systems and training to enable individuals and teams to maximise their performance and realise their potential. And you know, one of the things I'm noticing is that many are struggling with that even more than they used to. I'm the author of SuperTeams, using the principles of respect to unleash explosive business performance, and more recently, how to maximise your impact without going anywhere. And it's that last topic that I want to share with you today. Business simply isn't what it used to be. Technological advances have changed how we do business, how we communicate, and as we all know, the speed of change itself. Globalisation means we're working increasingly across sites, countries, time zones, and much more importantly across cultures. And social changes mean working from home and flexible hours and job sharing are much more common, and all of these are having a dramatic impact. And what I've seen over the last few years is 5 big mistakes people are making when trying to connect in what is now this virtual, digital, noisy world. Firstly, they neglect their virtual brand. Secondly, they don't understand how organisations now work. Thirdly, they assume shared understanding when none exists. They let technology take the lead, and they don't capitalise on the opportunities they've got and the current skills which now need to be used differently. Let's just briefly look at those in a little bit more detail. It doesn't apply to me, neglecting the virtual brand. So many people think I just get on with my work. I don't work virtually. I come to the office every day and I'm not into this new technology, these new gizmos, and I don't care what other people think. It's just another flavour of the month. I don't actually have a virtual brand. Believe me, you do. If you're absent from the virtual world, your brand is probably clearer than even if you're present. So never assume that this doesn't apply to you. You have a virtual brand. Not understanding how organisations work. Many of us, certainly my age, are used to things where you saw the boss frequently, you were told what to do, you had limited contact with a number of people, and most of that was physical. That doesn't happen anymore. We now live in a connective world where all of us link with other people, we link with processes, we link with things, and most of that is virtual. Communication is made up of hundreds, if not thousands, of bite-sized communications, the odd text message, the email, perhaps we get a letter, we attend a meeting, a teleconference. It's a lot of noise that all accumulates, what I call connectives, transient connections over space, time, distance, languages and culture. And consequently, we make the next big mistake, which is assuming a shared understanding. Alan Greenspan is often quoted as saying, "I know you think you understand what you thought I said, but I'm not sure you realise that what you heard is not what I meant." And that quote was made before all of this noise arose. Imagine now how much easier it is for misunderstandings to occur. And then many of us let the technology take the lead. Everybody's getting excited about the latest tool, and there are hundreds, there are thousands. One of the top HR analysts quoted the other week, the 39 technologies that I use every day. Every day? How can we possibly communicate if we focus and let the technology lead? Yes, of course we use technology, of course we should. We should make maximum use of it, but it should be targeted, it should be focused. We should choose the things that enable us to make the impact we need to make in the world in which we operate. And then not capitalising on the opportunities and the skills. We have to now spot the opportunities to make an impact in a virtual world, because the way others perceive us dramatically affects whether they interact with us, whether they speak to us, whether they call on us, whether they engage us, whether they promote us, whether they give us the opportunities. We have to take the lead. We have to be proactive. And some of the skills that we have are still valuable, but we just have to use them in a different way. I'll just give you one example. I did some research a while ago where I looked at people in meetings, and I found that approximately a third of people were not paying attention. I did that same research relatively recently, looking at video conferences and teleconferences. 2/3 of people were not listening. They were actually looking at their cell phones, even doing different things not related to the meeting. The skills we need to use to address those problems are exactly the same as the skills we should use in normal meetings. We just have to use them differently. So 5 big mistakes I see when people are trying to connect and impact virtually. Believing it doesn't apply to them, not understanding how organisations work, assuming shared understanding occurs just because we've sent messages, letting the technology take the lead rather than capitalising on it, and not capitalising on the opportunities to create that brand and make that impact using skills we've already got. So I put together a program, Impact Virtually. And during Impact Virtually, we're going to cover a number of things. The myths of how to impact virtually, focusing and targeting your messages in a virtual world, managing your virtual brand, managing your presence in a virtual world, making very specific impacts that achieve what you want to achieve, how to make best use of contemporary technology, and also not forgetting lumpy materials still work. There's still a place for the written word. Hope you'll join me on the Virtual Impact program, and there's a tips book available to everyone from the website. Thank you for listening.